be the teacher. But they're the innovators and the influencers, such as Steve Harvey, Marissa Jarrett Winokur, Wendy Raquel Robinson. I've seen them virtually, and ever since Tom Joyner went off the air, I've tuned in. Social media had me making so many excuses for all the wrong that I've done, and instead of telling everybody the truth, and you know, if I told the truth, they probably would just tell me, just stay off the internet if you're just having these thoughts. And that's what Quadri should have did. He should have got off the internet then. He should have told his mama. He should have told his big cousin, T. The young man could have called me. He could have called me. Like, I basically lived, I bounced from 1948 Bond Street to 275 East Grand Avenue. I basically lived at T-Liners. I went there, a lot. That was basically, my other house. Like, that was my other house. I lived in that block. So I basically used to live at T-Liners. And sometimes, yeah, I do live at Facebook Barbershop. I kind of live there. Like, me and my me and my daddy, that's like our second home together. Like, cause they know when Pops comes in, they know Pops and I, we live at T-Liners. I mean, we live at Facebook. Just like Pops and I, we lived at T-Liners pretty much. And that's why I'm pretty sure, yeah, it did feel weird and uncomfortable to be, you know, going off to Greg's, just so I could try to make this person my friend. You know, it did feel like stalking. I even felt uncomfortable doing it. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna tell y'all the dang truth that it did feel uncomfortable for me. But I was that desperate for a friend. I got to tell you the truth that you know, I was hoping that that would be the result I was gonna get. Also, try to make that same kind of bond with Tyler. Really, tell you the truth. I'll try to, I showed up at just plain days, but I realized that showing up to people's jobs, that's not, and following the people, in a place that you don't go, that is stalking, and it's considered creepy. Even the way I acted on social media was creepy, and that's kind of the reason. I'm trying to clean off my shaver. That's kind of the reason so many people felt uncomfortable, and I was always kicked out of groups, and I didn't care. I thought I didn't have a problem with that, and I didn't think. I never stopped for a second to realize that that's not the way. that humans act. Well, not any humans that, are going into young adults. You know? And so many people said, you need to talk to someone. And I did talk to some people here and there. Because deep down, I think they knew also about my suicidal thoughts and how I was doing things that made others uncomfortable and not acting my age, trying to deflect all that. That's all I was trying to do. I didn't have time to be rushed to no hospital. Instead of telling the truth, I did stuff that was not approved. I broke up the peace and broke up the unity, just making trouble and acting like I was half raised, talking out of turn instead of, in private messaging people with negativity and drama and disrespect. I know that's not expected from anyone my age. And then I've made excuses for my immaturity, and I was also told, just grow up and act your age. Now I see why I was told to stay away from certain people, because it was making them uncomfortable that I wasn't acting my age. Maybe I should have, opened up about my suicidal thoughts. And yeah, my neighbors are downstairs. I don't know what's going on, but can hear my neighbors. Yeah, and everybody, basically, the whole community, like, friends Miss Tandy, basically, and she hasn't accepted my friend request yet. A lot of people, I want to thank all the people that friend like the whole community, but don't friend me, because that showed me the think method. Would would your grandma want to see it? Would you want your name attached to it forever? Is it a nice thing to say? I didn't even think of that, so I want to thank y'all. Know who y'all are. I want to say thank you, and I didn't realize how disturbing my behavior was and how creepy it was. Back when I was on Discord, I didn't even care. On YouTube. I'm working on getting my kindness back. I haven't talked back to my mama and my daddy in a while. Nevertheless, I use, people that, just like I, take that kind of guidance from Steve Harvey, I, take guidance from my mama, my daddy, and my sister. And I wish that Steve Harvey, I wish that Mr. Steve said this like 8 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago. I wish he said, you should check it out. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. But he said, don't you dare never give up. Just because it's over for you, just because it's over for the other person, don't mean it got to be over for you. A lot of people who don't have that much still going on and staying strong. What you give up for? I would have sent that to Quadric in a hurry if he called me. And this was out like 10 years ago. Since I was 12, 13, well, it's been over that. I started doing stage crew. Started out working for Chelsea with the stage crew and whatnot. And how I had a self-employed job. I've always wanted to have a job. But I got always frustrated. My mama and my daddy, they took it as being angry with them, which I would never really do. But, you trying to, do acting, and you can't really find that much, despite being in the New York area. Just trying to get down to it, and you actually have a real goal. I mean, but, yeah. I didn't really mean to yell at my mama and my daddy. Really. I was this close to giving up, really. Which is why I've done stuff that I, in real life, know not to do. I know better than to follow people around. I was trying to be sure whether or not the friendship would last. And deep down, with social media, I did feel alone. I did feel like one day I was going to do it. And I was doing a lot of things that were not approved. And good thing, in like these critical moments where I felt like I literally was gonna commit what, there was police right there. Thank God. Like I really felt like one day I was gonna do it. That's probably why these cops were always there. To remind me that I am not bothered. These police were just there, probably to, remind me in my situation that I am by no means alone. Yeah, that's what it is. That I was by no means alone. I had such a guilty conscience. And I always felt attacked. And getting some information that would help me and move forward and help me do better, it felt like an attack. Especially with my mama and my daddy. That's not what I was taught. Despite all that, I want to say I made it through those thoughts. And now I'm starting to act my age. Now, I made it through. you know, if I go anywhere, I will not show pretend support. Like, what I would tell my younger self, I just tell them, just calm down. It's not that deep. Just do what your mama and your daddy tell you to do. Respect them and obey them, and you'll be okay. That's kind of what my big brother said. I don't really have time to call him, but I got acting and stuff to do. And now I'm more grateful than ever. It'd be cool. I'm not, following anyone or looking for a friend because I know the new friends they'll come to me. And if it's meant to be, if it's possible, Audrey camaraderie and other people that I fell out with are going to, forgive me. And I just have to leave it at that. Anyway, I'm taking a shower right now. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Okay, deuces.